exciting episode of As the River Churns.
Well, happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're having a good day today. Beautiful weather outside, nice and warm. We should have broadcast from outside today.
Oh, we should have.
If there was a way to do that, we should have done it. What do you think, Joseph? Yeah, that would have been a great idea. So I think we are ready we start out every one of our shows now with the trivia question. Lisa,
Yes.
do we have one today?
We do, and this is thank you to John Hoyt. The question is, what was the first personal computer sold to the public? What was the first personal computer sold to the public? And if you know that answer, we're going to ask you to call Michelle Jones at 336-389-4103. And the first person to get it right will receive a special prize today.
Oh, what's the special prize today?
How can we go wrong, Tom? We have a bottle of wine.
I thought that was grape juice. Is it wine or is it grape juice?
It is wine.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Very
Is that
good.
a good brand, Joseph?
That is fantastic.
Okay. So straight from Joseph's mouth, this is a good brand.
That's delicious.
All right. I think any wine is delicious at this point.
Well,
so.
that's true.
So there you go. So just trying to kind of get you all caught up a little bit about coronavirus stuff. I think as far as River Landing goes, there's not a ton of updates. You probably all are watching the news or keeping up to date with things that are going on, but just a couple things from today. I think you all may have heard President Trump was talking about the fact that he's not looking at the moment to impose any kind of sheltering in place type of edict or command. I think he has decided that the governors are doing a good job of regulating what's going on in their states, and so I think he's probably going to leave that go that way. Speaking of which, I think you all saw that looks like New York is putting in a shelter-in-place program now. So we saw that, I think, happen in California, and so now it's happening in New York too. So we might want to be keeping the good folks of New York in our thoughts and prayers. And we did get this morning, I got a notice that we had our third case here in Guilford County of someone who tested positive. And I believe, if my memory's right, that it was somebody who was traveling, and it was somebody who was traveling in New York, I believe, within the last couple of weeks that ended up coming down with it. So I think you all know this. We're kind of at the beginning stages of that. There's a lot more testing that's going on in our county and around our state, and really across the United States for that matter. So, I mean, I think we should all be expecting that the cases are going to rise a lot here as people get tested who have been waiting to get tested. So, but we're going to just be praying that this social distancing thing that we're doing is going to work, and that with everybody kind of doing a good job of trying to stay put at home and using sanitizer and washing your hands really good, hopefully we can kind of minimize the impact of that. So I think that's our coronavirus update for today. So, I think we also want to talk something. We have a special guest with us today with Joseph being here, Joseph Burdett.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome.
We're glad to have you
pleasure.
here, Joseph. Are you nervous about being here in front of everybody?
No, not at all. You know,
Okay.
when we say recorded in front of a live studio audience, actually there is no audience. So that kind of makes it a lot easier.
It does.
We've got a few wonderful helpers here. Thank you very much for your support.
We have a
Great
couple of
job.
live people, but not too many live
Thank you.
people here, right? So, Joseph, I think we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to be putting into place on Monday as far as the dining program. I think people have been very interested about what that plan is going to be, and so I think you and Lisa have got some information for us.
We're going to tag team a little
Yeah.
bit here. I ran into someone coming down on the elevator today, and they said, you know, you haven't put anything in our boxes in at least a day. So we're gonna be putting something in your box tonight. So be looking for that. We've been promising you all a new dining plan was going to be coming out. We're currently under a temporary one through Sunday. So just remember, this new plan coming out doesn't start until Monday. So, Joseph, should we start going through what some of the plan is, and then?
Sure, that's
Okay.
a great idea.
Okay. So let's just go from top down here. Let's start with breakfast time. So we've been asked, can anybody come to breakfast? And the answer is yes. The breakfast time hasn't changed in the way of its hours. It's still 7:30 to 9:30. I did have a question. Can I come in my pajamas? And unfortunately, I think we better say no at this point.
No, that's
So,
probably
okay.
not a good idea.
Very good.
So, although there are some funny folks that have funny pajamas, that would be kind of
Well,
fun
that's
too.
true.
But
It's true.
maybe we have a pajama day sometime.
Maybe-
but let's
maybe
make that an organized thing, though, instead
Yes.
of just
Yeah,
a regular.
not just a onesie and twosie.
Yeah.
Okay. Breakfast, like all other meals, will be takeout only. We will have the grab-and-go area open at breakfast time. That area will have some of the more breakfast items. So that's your milks and your yogurts and cereals and fruits and things like that. So you can count on that right now. We're looking at expanding that area as we go here. This will be an evolving plan. So expand it as we go. Anything else in the grab-and-go at this point? Okay. So next areas, let's talk about lunch and dinner. It's a little bit more extent on this one of it's broken up into apartments and outside homes. So let me talk first to apartment residents. If you live inside the main building here in any of our apartments, you have two options for mealtime. You can call in your order, and we're going to have a number that's on the sheets that you'll pick up in your mailbox and look on Care Merge today, that you can call ahead your order based on the new menu that you will see. If you don't want to do that, you can come on down to the bistro. There'll be set times that you can come in, and you can pick items straight from there. So if you're someone that likes to take a look at maybe what the meal entree is, you can come down and do that. If you do the pickup, we're going to have you do all pickups at the creamery. This is for apartment folks only. Your pickups will be at the creamery if you've called in an order. If you come down to check it out, you're going to go through the bistro area. So we're running everything out of the bistro at this point. Once again, everything is to go. There's no dine-in, of course. We do have arrows down in the bistro floor. Those arrows are actually 6 feet apart, so that's a good reminder for you to keep that social distancing when you're in there. For outside folks, we are going to have your meal pickup areas at the clubhouse. This way we can separate our campus a little bit to avoid as much overcrowding as possible. And at the clubhouse, for outside residents, it is all call-in there. We're not going to have an area that you come in and walk through. You call in your orders. You'll have 2 numbers to call in at, and there'll be set times that you do that. And the pickups, you're going to drive your car or golf cart up under the porte-cochere at your designated time, and we'll bring the meals out to you. So you don't even leave your car. So we're trying to make it as convenient as possible for you. I've had some folks say, is it the same menu? And yes, we've come up with a menu that's available for both outside residents and inside residents. It's the same menu choices. So what we have for that is the Blue Plate Special, the menus that you have been seeing that are in the hot bar in the bistro. That will always be an option for you, which changes daily. And then we'll also have a menu that is available any day. Some options for that. And Joseph will talk a little more about that. Call-in and pickup times, I referenced that. You will have times that you can call in your orders. For call-in for lunch, it's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And for dinner, it's 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So that's if you're calling in your orders. So all outside folks and any apartment residents that would like to call in orders. For pickup times, lunch will be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then for dinner times, it's 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So if you call in your order, the person taking your order is going to say, okay, I'll have yours ready by 11:30. So they're going to give you a designated pickup time when you call in. Let's see. The menus. People are asking where are those going to be at. So every week we'll be publishing the new menu for the week coming up. And I believe that's Thursday that you'll see those out in your box at some point. It will also be posted on the portal on Care Merge. And Cindy is right now working on setting up a page for the interim dining program that will have all of this information on it as well as the menus. That includes the weekly Blue Plate Special as well as the everyday menu. The Deep River Coffee and Creamery, that is, at this point, we're still keeping that open. That is a pickup area only, and we have changed the hours slightly. So Monday through Saturday is 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday is 8 to 3. So we have adjusted that a little bit based on our times. And then I have one more note here, which I'm not sure, but Tom, are we delivering alcohol?
You bet we are.
What?
This is my favorite part of the meal plan so far that you've been going to get ready to talk about here. So tell us a little bit about that, Lisa.
Okay. So with our clubhouse, we have the added benefit of having alcohol available here. We will be able to have delivery of alcohol to the apartment residents because we know you all may not be getting out as much right now. So if you're in the apartment, you will call in between 9 and 11 to order your alcohol for delivery at 1 to 3 that day. So if you're in the apartment, we're giving you instructions on the sheets that you're getting today of where to call for that. If you're an outside resident and you'd like to order alcohol, we will have that available for you when you call in for your meals, and then we'll give it to you when you pick up your meals. So that way you'll have that at that time.
So how do I make sure that my draft beer doesn't come to me half done because it's spilled out if I order
That's
it?
a good question, Tom. We are limiting it to bottles.
Oh,
Bottles only at this
all right.
point.
Well, that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
And that menu will also
I wouldn't want
be
anybody
posted.
drinking half my beer anyway, so that's probably a good idea.
That's true.
Yeah.
Boiled again.
So it will be bottle options only, and that the beer and wine menu will be posted on CareMerge as well, and in your in-house mailboxes. Joseph, can you talk a little bit about what the menu will look like for us?
Well, absolutely. And if we make a alcohol delivery at 2 o'clock and then you call at 2:30 and to make your dinner delivery, we will remind you if you have already placed that order. But you called again after you got the alcohol delivery. So we'll keep an eye on that. So yes, we've come up with a menu to start with, and hopefully as we move through this process, we'll expand this and we'll add additional items. But we really wanted to focus on being consistent to start with and having a program that we could support with a strong backing right off the bat. So some of the entrees we'll have the blue plate that you're used to with one entree, 2 sides, and drinks. We'll have the small blue plate with 1 entree, 1 side, and a drink. We'll have chicken tenders, a small house salad, a small Asian chicken salad. We'll also have a salad of the week that will be printed on the menu that you'll get, and that'll change every week. We'll have a salad of the week and a sandwich of the week that will change weekly. We'll have a hamburger, cheeseburger, and you can order the same fixings that we get in the bistro with different cheese and onions, lettuce, tomato, chili if you'd like, hot dogs with chili, slaw, onions. We'll have a chicken salad on a croissant roll available all the time. We'll also have, for those of you that like chicken salad, tuna salad, or pimento cheese, we'll have portion cups with 4-ounce portion cups of all 3 of those salads that are available every day.
That was a question from yesterday, I think, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
We'll also have pizza. For those of you that like the pizza, we'll have 1 slice of cheese and a slice of pepperoni. So we'll have pepperoni and cheese available, and that'll be at the clubhouse and downstairs in the bistro. For some side items that we'll have always available will be french fries and onion rings, of course ketchup. We'll have a soup of the day that changes every day, and you'll see that on your weekly menus. We'll have bags of potato chips and whole fruit, and it'll be the same whole fruit that we try to run in the bistro, but depending on availability, the whole fruit may change. You'll know, we'll let you know when you call in if any changes have happened with that, and also a dessert of the day that will also be on your weekly menu that you're used to. We're set up for a lot of different requests as far as condiments and sides. Just be patient. We've got a strong staff that's doing a great job, and they've really weathered the storm this week, and I'm proud of every one of them. And we're doing everything we can to keep you happy and satisfied through this difficult time. But thank you for your patience.
That's great.
Very good. Now, Joseph, do the sandwich orders come with a pickle spear? Because I think that's very important for me to have a pickle spear.
You know, I think that's a great idea. I think we will make sure we've got a pickle spear. Although Arlo Guthrie, if anybody remembers him, he said he didn't want a pickle.
Really?
He just wanted to ride on his motorcycle. He didn't want to die. He just wanted to ride on his motorcycle. Cool. Anyway, if anybody remembers Arlo Guthrie, that was the motorcycle song.
Okay. Well, thanks for enlightening us on that.
So Joseph, I don't know. Your jokes might be worse than Tom's. I don't know.
Well, you all can vote on that if you want
Yes.
to. So, Well, that's awesome. Well, Joseph, thank you. We know that this hasn't been an easy process, switching over to basically trying to do batch cooking and wanting to make sure we have plenty of food for our residents. And quite honestly, I think trying to have consistency in the menus from the outside folks and the inside folks and trying to make this as easy as possible for our residents. So looking forward to seeing the great food that you serve always, and we'll just we'll work our way through it. And as you get more and more comfortable with what we're doing, I'm sure that we'll see a lot of menu changes and different things going on. So just asking everybody to be patient as we go through this process. So
Thank you. Well said.
all right, Lisa, I think we have some questions today.
We do.
A lot of questions today,
We
it looks
do,
like. Wow.
yes, several. Okay, first question. I am worried about touching the hand sanitizers in order to get the sanitizer out. That's a good question. We are fortunate here. Our hand sanitizers, the ones as you go into the bistro area and other locations here, they're all automatic. So when you put your hand under the hand sanitizer, it senses that and it will squirt out the sanitizer for you. So there's no need to actually touch the hand sanitizer equipment there. So it's all hands-free.
So when you put your hand in, you don't touch the top, you don't
You
touch the
don't.
back. You just
Yep.
kind of put it in,
Put
and
it
it
in there.
senses there, and it'll spit it out for you, and then,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yes.
on your way.
Yep.
So
Yep,
that's good.
touch-free.
Okay.
Okay, next question. As the gatehouse project on John Knox progresses, could this be opened for a second entrance?
So that's a great question. So we had, the sad part is we've been waiting a long time to get this, the second entrance open, and now when it's about ready to be opened, we have decided not to open it at this point. The main reason for that is we want to be able to control access to and from the community, and right now the best way to do that is through one entrance, which is the Lynx Drive entrance. So could we do that at some point in the very near future? I think it's possible, but we're going to go ahead and let them finish that gatehouse completely up. When we were planning on opening at the beginning of March or middle of March, we were going to have stuff still left to do on that, on the gatehouse itself. So now we can kind of go ahead and just concentrate on getting that gatehouse completely done. And so we'll see. I think there's a chance that we might be able to open that up at some point.
Okay. Next question. What will the procedure be for Sunday brunch? So that's a good question. Right now, we don't have our traditional Sunday brunch. And under our current interim plan that we're proposing, that we're starting on Monday, we still aren't able to provide that traditional brunch because we can't have the dine-in option right now. So Sunday brunch will be whatever's on the dining menu for Sunday, and it will be pickup only. So there's no different plans for Sundays. It's following the same protocol that we have for every day of the week. Anything else you want to share, Joseph, anything special on Sundays?
Pretty much covers what the parameters are for Sundays. We're just hoping we get through this as quickly as we can so we can get back to the service that we're used to.
But Joseph, I think as we go along, there's an opportunity maybe to enhance the Sunday lunch menu to be able to include some of the items that we normally might have on a Sunday brunch from time to time. Is that what I think you had talked about, maybe being able to get to?
It is. So a lot of the menu items that we already have on Sundays, they're still going to be on the menu to pick up. And some of the ancillary items, like some of the desserts, maybe shrimp cocktail, we can add in the future. So that's
Good.
an option to pick up as well.
Yeah, I think that would be. We know how important shrimp is to our residents. So if we can do that, that would be great.
Okay. We are enjoying the broadcasts on Channel 1390. Can we record them? And the answer is yes. If you have a DVR, you can actually set your DVR to record Channel 1390 for the set time. Also, if you have a separate recording device. So I know some of you also have recorders in the audience.
Maybe, Lisa, to add to that, we're still trying to figure out a good way. We've had a couple suggestions from a couple residents, but trying to find a good way to be able to record some of the exercises and our show here as well, so that we can have them in inventory on Care Merge, or maybe be able to rebroadcast them at some point. So
Absolutely.
we're still looking at that right now.
Okay. Is there a way to increase the volume that feeds out to our TVs for the 1390 broadcast? That's also a good question.
It is.
We currently have our feed going out at the top number that we can. Actually, this year, the end of April, we were planning to upgrade our system, but that obviously has been pushed back a little bit. But with the upgrades that we're doing to the broadcast piece and the audio part, we think hopefully that we can correct some of that, because I know some of you are really having to turn up your TVs to a high number. We're just going to have to ask you to keep doing that for now, just turning up the TV volume on your end. That's the only area you can control. And for us, the only area we can control is already at its highest.
Yeah, and we are finding out it's not consistent from
not.
resident to resident. Some residents are having no problems with their TVs hearing us at all,
Right.
and other residents are having to turn up the volume.
Right.
And quite honestly, it has nothing to do with our mic systems either. I mean, we could turn our mics all the way up, and all that's going to do is help out the folks that are not here in the multipurpose room. It's really a control mechanism that's in our broadcast
Our main
booth,
broadcasting system.
and that
Yeah.
is at full gain at this point.
It
That
is.
is the highest
It
it can
is.
go. So we're broadcasting at the highest level we can at the moment. So
Yes.
yeah, so unfortunately our advice to you right now is to make sure if you can't hear us, please turn the volume up. That's the best we can do at the moment.
Right, right. Last question, will the new menus be on Care Merge? And the answer is yes. Cindy's creating a page. It'll be the interim dining plan. She will have the hot bar menu on there. She'll have the everyday available menu on there and the beer and wine menu on there. So all that will be on Care Merge.
Great. So I think we're at the virus tip of the day.
Yes, the virus tip of the day is elevators. So you all know that we like to sometimes crowd into an elevator, but now would not be the time to do that. So if you can limit your numbers in the elevators, that's really the tip for today. And let's say that you have a couple people in there, you may even look at turning yourself so you're not directly looking into each other or being in contact with each other. So there is ways to kind of manage that when you are in the elevator.
Yeah, Lisa and I are already practicing
We were
good
practicing.
elevator technique today, and we were getting in and turning our faces to the side walls on each side of the elevator just to try and, because, you know, it's hard to get 6 feet
It
there.
is,
So,
it is.
So, our suggestion would be to just not crowd into the elevators. I know that means you might have to wait a little bit longer, but again, good social distancing. Let's just try and be kind of careful about that.
Absolutely.
So we got birthdays next.
We do, yes.
And we're going to announce birthdays not just for today, but for the whole weekend.
We are, because we actually have no birthdays today, but tomorrow, Saturday, we have a shout out to Harriet Appel, Margaret Delmar, and Glennie Oglesby, who are all celebrating birthdays tomorrow.
Awesome. Happy
And then
birthday.
on Sunday, we have one special birthday as well, Dorothy Fritz. Happy birthday.
That's great. So did we end up having a winner
We
of the...
do.
Oh, we got
So-
somebody's going to win the bottle of wine.
Yes. So
Okay.
Michelle texted me the winner today. And just as a reminder, the question was, what was the first personal computer sold to the public? And the answer is the Commodore. And that, once again, is thank you to John Hoyt for that question. And the winner is Rhodey Gibbs.
Rhodey.
Yes.
Ah.
Congratulations, Rhodey. This bottle of wine will be heading your way.
It might be half drunk when you get it, but you'll get it, I can promise you.
The seal is currently on it, but I can't guarantee that by the time it gets to you.
You probably better not let me deliver it then. That's probably good.
Probably
So-
not.
I had a VIC-20 Commodore and a Commodore 64, but I really thought the answer was TRS-80.
Well,
Congratulations.
I'll tell you what, you could take that up with John Hoyt. How about that?
Oh, my gosh.
I see that was way before my time, so I don't know anything about that, Joseph. So, all right, I think we're down to the joke of the day,
Yes.
and this is a good one. I like this one. This actually came from Betsy Irwin. She thinks that some of you may have heard this before, but I had not heard this one. I thought it was
I hadn't either.
I thought it was very
Good
good.
one.
So here it goes. A sweet grandmother telephoned St. Joseph's Hospital. She timidly asked, "Can I speak to someone who could tell me how a patient is doing?" The operator said, "I'll be glad to help, dear. What's the name and the room number of the patient?" The grandmother in her weak voice said, "Norma Finley, room 302. The operator replied, "Let me put you on hold while I check with the nurse's station for that room." After a few minutes, the operator returned to the phone and said, "I have good news for you. Her nurse just told me that Norma is doing well. Her blood pressure is fine, her blood work just came back normal, and her physician, Dr. Cohen, has scheduled her to be discharged tomorrow." The grandmother said, "Thank you. That's wonderful. I was so worried. God bless you for the good news." The operator replied, "You're more than welcome. Is Norma your daughter?" The grandmother said, "No, I'm Norma Finley in room 302. No one tells me a blasted thing."
I love it. Thank you, Betsy.
Apparently, that's a true story. I love it. Thank you, Betsy. That's awesome. We're going to have a special guest speaker on Monday, right, for our show?
Yes.
Yes. Whitney Ariza is going to be on our show. And we're going to be talking about grocery shopping and some options with that. She's been researching a lot of some of that stuff for us. And so I think she's got some interesting things to talk about on Monday.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah, I think that'll be really good. So, Lisa, do you want to read the parting comment today?
Yes, Tom. So this was provided, this parting comment today was provided by Rhodey Gibbs. So we've said his name twice today.
We have.
Winner, and he gave us his parting comment. So, okay, thank you, Rhodey. So if nobody likes this, it's Rhodey Gibbs. He lives out on campus. So the comment is, people who don't read in the bathroom don't understand why people who do. I'll leave it at that.
That was great.
Yeah, I knew you would like that, Joseph. That sounds like one of your jokes for sure.
You and Rhodey should get together.
And the scary thing is I've been holding back.
All right, what do they call that? TMI, right? Too much information there. So, well, we hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you on Monday. God bless.